probably going to share this on my YouTube live for people in the future. I mean, if that's cool. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's recording now. Thanks for that reminder.
Right.
It's recording.
Okay. So I'm sure who else we have in the chat here. Let's see. So Albie, Kevin, April. A few more people said they're going to join in as well too.
Just 2 o'clock. Okay.
Yep. Just 2 o'clock. So, and let's see. And my wife is asking me, how do I watch? She's in the other room wrapping gifts. So I sent her the link.
Oh, okay. She's going to be on video as well?
She's going to be watching. She's going to be listening in.
Oh, okay. Because I will give her a hard time. I can give people a hard time that
I know. Oh, my goodness.
Jay Way.
Hello.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Doing good, bro.
Nice to finally meet you. Or
yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. That's my brother Jonathan, man.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Jonathan?
Jackson.
Oh, Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, Jackson, come on, bro.
Yeah, it says J-Way on there, but my name's Jackson.
No problem. No. So, Kevin, if I remember, you recently purchased Logos, is that right?
I've had it for about a year.
Okay.
I'm using the 8 starter, but I was with Lito last week, and he was showing me some of the features of the 9, and I got kind of excited about that.
Yeah, we'll go heavy onto the new features of 9 today. So that's cool. Good. That's perfect. Cool. That's perfect. G8X then Q. All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is, but welcome.
Hi, Chauncey. It's Albie, Trent's friend.
Oh, hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay, I knew I'd recognize that name from somewhere.
I got my nephews running in and out of my office, so I kind of turned my camera off.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. That's all right.
You guys don't mind. I don't want to be a distraction, so.
No problem. Leesburg, right?
Ashburn, close to Leesburg.
Okay, all right, okay.
Very close. I could have 1 foot in Leesburg and 1 foot in Ashburn.
There we go. 703 area code. I remember that.
Yes. So I just purchased it, a week or 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
A week ago. So it's all new for me. I've never had any other version. So I've been playing around with this. So I'm going to, looking forward to getting into every session that I can to learn as much as possible.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's good. Well, meet my buddy Saiko. He's the host of this here shindig.
Hi, Saiko.
Oh, how are you?
Blessed. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you.
Good.
I'm going to be just as excited. Well, I am just as excited as you all are, because this is actually my very first hosting of a presentation, and I've had Logos because I was just talking to Chauncey about how to pronounce it, but we're going to say tomato throughout the whole presentation. But I have I've had Logos since I think 2000 or 2001, and my life has not been the same since. So but I've never really have had a full-on presentation. So I know there's things in this program that I have yet to scratch the surface on. So I'm definitely looking forward to digging into some of the nuances and features that this program has to provide.
I said in a session, I believe, Chauncey, was it last week or week before last?
Mm-hmm.
I said and I was just in awe. I was elated. I was like happy the whole time he was going through, and it was really exciting to see what's available, the tools, the resources, readily available at the click.
Right.
So I believe in investing in myself and my spiritual growth. So I'm excited about what's to come with it. First time ever using it, but I'm very excited about it.
Oh, great.
Great. That's great. So Saiko, anytime you're ready, man.
All right. Well, let me get started. So welcome everybody to the Logos presentation. I am Saiko Woods, that you can see on the screen, and I'm joined with Brother Chauncey Allmond. He is a national presenter with Logos. Bible software. So those of you who are just joining in, thank you so much for your time. You could have been anywhere else in the planet, but you know, COVID got you. So, but anyway, so you stuck here with me for about an hour. But no, definitely appreciate every one of you who are joining in, those who are watching visually, welcome. Those who are listening audibly, welcome. Those who are in the chat, thank you for joining. We are definitely, we're going to record this as well as we speak. So Chauncey, you already got it ready to go. So we're good to go with that. But I'm excited to be here. Again, as I mentioned before, this is actually my first time being a part of an actual presentation. The ones that I've seen before have lasted about 10, 15 minutes tops. This one is going to be a little bit more in depth, so I am looking forward to it. I have had Logos Bible software for about 20 years now, just over 20 years, and I have yet to scratch the surface on it. And so I'm looking forward to this program that I have now. Just upgraded this one to Logos 9. And so when I say that there's more to this program than what we probably have ever, delved into, that's an understatement. So I'm looking forward to what Brother Chauncey has to share with us. I just want to ask a question. So those of you who are here, any Bible teachers, any pastors, any ministry leaders, those who are in ministry, anyone here, or is everyone basically just quote unquote lay people? And I use lay people as a term of description.
I'm a senior pastor.
Say again?
I'm a senior pastor.
Okay, great. So the reason why I asked the question, because this based on those who are here, we want to make sure that the information that is shared will be on even keel. If there's more Bible teachers in here, then we'll try to focus the attention on more of the tutorial aspects of sermon preparation and things of that nature. But it seems like we're gonna have a little mixture of both. So we want to make sure it's hands-on. Going to bring the cookies down from the top shelf and make sure everybody has a bite. Is that good?
Yeah.
All right. So without any further ado, I want to introduce to some and acquaint with others. Brother Chauncey Allmond, again, he's the national presenter for Logos Bible software. And so I'm going to give him the floor. So please, if you don't mind, give him your undivided attention. You'll be well pleased and also be grateful for the information that's going to be shared. Brother Chauncey, it's on you, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Saiko. Man, I always say this, and everybody that does a presentation always says this. It's like, I'm so happy to be here and blah, 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 blah. And I am. And I don't say that just because I'm supposed to. And I always tell people I have the best job in the world. I mean, I really do. Because my job is to, pre-pandemic, was to basically hop on a plane and go to Christian conferences all across the country, get on stage, and do an abbreviated version of what you're about to see. And the reason why I say it's the best job in the world, not just because I get to travel, but because when people see it and they say, how can I go on without that? What product can you purchase right now where you say, man, I don't know how I got one without that? Especially someone that's studying the Word of God, someone that's preaching, or someone that just, loves studying the Word of God, and to get them excited about doing that, it just doesn't get any better than that. I mean, it really doesn't. I've been with the Faithlife Corporation. Faithlife is our company. Logos is actually just one of the products from Faithlife. So I've been with Faithlife. What's today's date? The 12th? Man, in 6 more days, I'll be 3 years with the company. But I used Logos for 7 years prior to that. So I'm going on 10 years using the program. And so without further ado, because man, once I get started, I mean, Saiko's he's gonna have to pull out the what is that, at the awards, not the awards, but the show,
the crane, the little hook.
Yeah, in Harlem. What's the show?
Sandman.
Yeah, Apollo. Yeah. So Saiko may have to pull an Apollo or the Sandman on me because I get going, and you guys just had to stop me because, man, I love what I do and I love this product, and I want people to be excited about studying the Word of God. That's the main thing. So if it's okay, let me start in a word of prayer, Brother Saiko, if that's all right.
Sure, go ahead.
All right, Father God, we just thank you for this opportunity to showcase a tool, God, that helps us learn more about you It's not about Faithlife. It's not about Saiko. It's not about me. It's about you. And we want to explore this tool that helps us get to know you in a more intimate way, because we want to hear all you have for us in your word. So we just thank you for this opportunity. We ask that you bless everyone that's here, even those that wanted to but couldn't be here. We just pray for them as well. We just ask, Holy Spirit, that you be completely present and work within us through this time today as we dive into your word using Logos. So we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and share my screen. I see Sharon. Is that Sharon Woods? Is that your?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. All right. Okay. So she wants to show the camera. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. We're going to get over that. We're going to get over that. Now, you seeing Logos on the screen now? Just to make sure you see it good. Okay. All right. So as we mentioned before, this is Logos 9. Now, Logos 9 just came out October the 26th. So it's just not quite a couple of months old yet. So if you have a previous version of Logos, let's say you have 8 or 7, a lot of it is going to look very similar as far as the structure. But what I'm going to do is point out some things that we added for Logos 9. Now, with that said, now you're going to see me look back and forth. That's because I have 2 monitors going. So don't think I'm like looking at the football game or something going on over here. I'm looking at Logos over here and I'm going to see you over there. And feel free, ask questions as we go along. That won't mess me up if you ask questions as we go. So that's no big deal. So what you're seeing in Logos 9 here is the home page. So when you first click that icon to launch Logos, this is what it looks like. Now, at the top here, we have something called the dashboard. Now, this dashboard, I guess the best way to think about the dashboard is like a shortcut. So you can click one of these cards on the dashboard and launch directly into whatever you want to study. I'm going to talk more about that in a few minutes. So when you first launch Logos for the first time, your dashboard may be blank. So don't think I have anything special right here. Yours is blank right now, but I'll show you how to add cards later. So underneath here is our Explore section. This is where you get different Christian articles and videos and different blogs and tips and tricks on how to use Logos. And this information changes every day. So every time you launch Logos, you're going to get a fresh set of information. Now, also know that you can access Logos on a laptop or desktop like you're seeing now. You can also access it on your mobile device, on your phone or your tablet. And there's also a web-based version of Logos as well. The web-based version is just a regular internet browser. And you just go to app.logos.com, log into your account, and it'll look very similar to what you're seeing right now. I point that out because most of everything that we do on the desktop automatically syncs with your phone, laptop, or the app.logos.com, the web version. So you're all in sync. You don't have to worry about saving it. It does it automatically. Now, so what we're talking about here is a tool that helps you study the Bible in a way that you've never done it before. So again, whether or not you are a lay person and you just want to study the Bible for yourself or your personal devotional time, or if you are a preacher or a teacher, you lead Sunday school, you're associate minister, you preach every Sunday, it's something for everybody, okay? Now, when you do that, you're gonna study a topic or you're gonna study a passage. Either way, if you're preaching, teaching, you're gonna study a topic or a passage. Now, there's multiple ways to launch into a topic or a passage study in Logos. So I'm gonna just show you a couple of ways. The first one, the easiest way, is this box up here. This box up here in the top left-hand corner, it's a white space with this green go sign. We call this the go box. If you don't remember anything else today, remember the go box, because in the go box is where you type in that topic or that passage, and then you click go, and that launches you into your study. So let's say you wanted to do a study in, let's say, John 4. I'm gonna just type in JN4, and I'm gonna watch what Logos does. So it gives me some options. It's saying, okay, Chauncey, you typed in JN or John 4. Okay, so what do you want to do with John 4? So it's saying here, layout. This is saying here's a passage study layout. In other words, the layout or the way it's going to look on your screen is going to be laid out to study a particular passage. So that's what a passage study layout is. The next thing that it gives you as an option is a fact book. You see here it says Factbook. Now, I always tell people this. Hey, Trent, I see you. That's my buddy from my homeboy from Norfolk, Virginia. Trent, what's up? When you open up the fact book, and Saiko, this is important. The fact book is your best friend. The fact book is your best friend. It's on your mobile device. It's on the web and everything. So we're going to talk a lot about fact book today. So if I were to click fact book is going to give me facts about the book. All right. It's going to tell me about a person, a place, or a thing, or anything theological you want to know. You can get it from the fact book. Okay. So the next thing it gives me an option of, it says, go to John 4 in your preferred Bible. Okay. So what's a preferred Bible? Okay. Well, you tell me. Saiko, what's your preferred translation?
Oh, the one that Jesus wrote. It's Standard.
See, I should have known, right? So he's an NASB guy, right? So when Saiko opens up his logos, there's a way, and we can talk about this if we have time, is where you tell logos, this is my preferred Bible, NASB, ESV, CSB, whatever your preferred Bible is. That way, whenever you do any kind of study, logos is going to go to that Bible first. Okay, so it's saying here, go to John 4 in your preferred Bible. The next option it gives you, it says start reading aloud John 4. So now Logos is going to read it to you as well. So these are the options. And all I did was type in JN4. I didn't click anything yet. And these options came up. So what I want to do, I want to launch into a passage study of John 4. So let's say I click the passage guide layout. Now, the reason why people get so excited, one of the reasons they get so excited about logos, is the wealth of information that pulls up at the click of a button. So again, all I did was click the passage guide layout for John 4. Now let me walk through what this layout is. Again, a layout is how your screen is literally laid out to help you do your study. Now here, I'm gonna start over here in the top here. You see CSB, ESV, and NIV. These are my Bible translations, right? So in my preferences, I have CSB. If this was Saiko, he would have NASB because he would have told Logos that's my preferred Bible. So I have three of them. I have, again, CSB, ESV, and NIV up top. Now down at the bottom, right now here at the bottom, I have the CSB study Bible notes and I have the ESV study Bible notes. So Logos is saying, okay, what's your preferred tool to help you understand the text? Again, you can set this up in preferences, but my preference was a CSB and ESV. Again, you can set it up however you want. So I'm gonna just stop right here just for a second and watch this. If I'm reading the CSB and I'm scrolling, look at what's happening at the bottom. You guys see what's happening? It's scrolling along with me, right? And I always jokingly tell people, for people that have a paper Bible, that have a Bible and a commentary, you have a Bible here, you have a commentary here, and you know, Sharon Wood, she's real studious as well. She might have, you know, a couple different commentaries on the desk. And let's say you're studying John 4, but then you say, you know, let me go to Romans for a minute, and you turn that Bible to Romans. If those commentaries move by themselves, I want you to call me, call Saiko, and let me know how that goes, because it's just not going to happen. So you're constantly turning different pages because you're trying to keep up, not with Logos. If I go to another text right now, my resource material is going to follow right along with me. So what you're seeing so far is the amount of time that's saved by doing this. We estimate that by typing in a text, click and go, it's saving you about 50 to 60 hours worth of time that you would normally spend with other resources. And that's including online resources. So if you go into Google, heaven forbid, you're getting your theological information from Google, heaven forbid, it's going to take you all that time to maneuver all those different windows. Okay. So that's the first thing I want to put on, the amount of time you save and the fact that you can scroll through and everything follows. Now, if I go to the ESV, I'm going to click the ESV. The ESV is also in John 4. So all of my materials are right in step with what I'm doing. Now, Saiko, no, I can't ask Saiko because I know the answer. I can't. He bad one to ask. So I was gonna say, if you're studying the text and you come to a word that you don't know the meaning to, right? I was going to ask, well, what do you do today? Well, some people might go to, I don't know, they might go to dictionary.com, or they might open up a lexicon, they might open up some kind of language book. Watch how easy it is to study the definition or to do a word study with logos. So I want you to watch real closely, because I'm going to do something super sophisticated right now. I'm going to do something so computer savvy, Saiko, I don't know if they can handle it. So let's say I'm in John 4:24, right? You see I have it highlighted in yellow. It says, God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Now, watch how high tech it is to study, let's say that word worship. Watch this real close. I click the word worship. That's how high tech we got. I click the word, and look at what happened on the right-hand side. Logos just opened up my Bible dictionaries. It opened up my language books. It opened up any and everything I would want to know about that word worship. And again, all I did was click it. Okay, I just clicked it. Now I'm going to stop sharing just for a second, because I forgot to click something, and you'll see why in just a second. Let me come back. Give me one more second. Let me come back here, and here. Okay. All right. You'll see what I just did in just a minute. Okay. So we did what? We did worship, right? Okay. Yep. So here's the definition: the recognition of God for who he is, what he has done, and what we are trusting him to do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's our definition. I'm scrolling down. I'm on the right-hand side here. I'm scrolling down. I see translation. Notice I see CSB, ESV, NIV, LEB, NASB, which is Saiko's version, right? So what this is showing me is if I rest my cursor, let's say on the NASB, it's telling me how the NASB handles that text in John 4. Mm-hmm. I could click on that, and it would open it up in that particular translation of the Bible, right? So all we're doing is clicking. We're not doing anything. I was facetiously saying I was being real high tech, but all I'm doing is clicking and hovering. Here's King James. If there's a King James person out there, there it is. I just rest my cursor, or I can click it. Now I get down here to the word info. So we're studying the word worship. We already have studied the definition of the word. We've looked at it in other translations. Now we have these kind of squiggly, I don't know, what is this? These some squiggly lines. Well, this is the Greek, right? Because we're in the New Testament, it's Greek. If I was in an Old Testament text, this would be in Hebrew. So all I have to do is rest my cursor on this Greek word, and it shows me the different ways that word worship is used in the Bible and the number of times that it's used in the Bible. And watch this. I can go here and I can click the speaker icon.
Proskuneo.
Logos is going to pronounce the Greek word for me, right? So I didn't have that feature turned on a minute ago where you can hear it. That's why I had to go out and come back in. All right, so now it's pronouncing the word for me. So that way, when Saiko is preaching, he's teaching, he's getting all excited, and he wants to impress you because he knows some Greek or some Hebrew. And the last thing we want him to do is mess up that pronunciation of the Greek word, right? He loses all credibility at that point. So what Logos will do is help you pronounce that word so you can go in and pronounce it correctly. All right, so we have the concordance. We have a bunch of different stuff already here. And all we did was click on the word worship. All right, so you can see how much time we've saved already. Now, do we have anybody in the group that writes sermons or lessons and maybe hands them out? Okay, we got Brother Captain over there. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna open up something really quick here. I want to open up a Word document here. All right, let me go back to Logos. So let's say you're writing that lesson, or you're just preparing something for yourself, let's say. And let's say you want to use something from this CSB Study Bible Notes. It says true worship must be based on true knowledge of God, etc. I want to take this, I want to highlight it, I want to copy it, and I want to put it in a Word document. That's what we're doing. So we're building some information in a Word document. So I go to this blank Word document, I'm going to right click, I'm going to paste. Look at what Logos does at the bottom. Logos automatically cites the references for you. It puts the footnotes there for you. Now, when I do these presentations in front of Pentecostal crowd, Trent, Saiko, you know what they do? They're running around. They're doing backflips right now because when you see how much time you save,
yes,
doing, that takes forever. If you ever had to write a paper before, you take forever, right?
Yes.
So all I had to do, again, with any text, I just select it, copy it, paste it. It's automatically going to do it. Let me show you one. I'm going to show off just for a quick moment here. I'm going to go to my program settings. Now watch this in my program settings over here on the left-hand side of the screen now. You see where it says citation style? So let's say you in seminary or whatever, so it has a different citation style. Look at all the different citation styles that it has. Wow. All you have to do is click on whichever your preferred or your professor's preferred, or I've done some stuff with some Christian authors, and they have to submit stuff to their publishers, and they want the citation style in a specific format. Logos gives you that specific format right here. All you have to do is click it, and when you do that copy and paste, it's going to do the footnote in that particular style. So that's the copy and paste feature in Logos. I haven't shown you anything that's new to Logos 9 yet. This is all just basic stuff. Now, I told you that the Factbook was your new best friend, right? Remember, that's what I said. So let me show you how you can access the Factbook. Here's I'm going to show you 3 ways. This new one just came out on Monday. So if you have Logos 9 and you update it automatically updated, you'll notice up here in the top left-hand corner. All right, let me get real fancy for a second. This is Saiko. I got to show off here. I'm just be real fancy and do this right here. You see that? All right, so you see the top left-hand corner. That icon is new. That icon was in other places, but we feel that the Factbook is so important that we put it right up here at the top. So you can get the Factbook there, and you can go to Tools and choose Factbook. You can get it there. See, same icon. We can get it there, or we can get it there. The other way we can get it is from within the text. So this icon right here, it's called the Factbook Visual Filter. Okay, so here it is. So it's off right now. I'm going to turn it on. Look at my text when I click it on. All right, just click. All right, you see words that got underlined. A lot of words got underlined. What that means is if a word is underlined, I can launch into the Factbook directly from that word. All right, so let's pick a word and see what it says. So I'm going to go to Samaritans. That's one that's highlighted. And I just rest my cursor and look at the information it tells me. It says, okay, so people, ethnic group, a woman, preaching theme, generic person, Samaritan woman. Because remember, we in John 4, we're talking about the woman at the well. So that's why it's giving me information about woman and Samaritan, etc. But I'm going to click it and look over here on the left. Now my Factbook has just opened up. Let me make this bigger. I'm going to right click and do open in a floating window. All I did was just make the screen bigger. So this is when I say Factbook is your new best friend, this is why. So here's Samaritans. We have now launched into a study about the Samaritans. So here's my definition, and opened up a Bible dictionary. Here's all this defining information about Samaritans right here. Here's media. It gives me all types of charts and graphs and genealogies and all this. I can open them up. I can put them in a Word document, put them in PowerPoint, or I can study it individually. All that media is there. I have key passages, right? So Saiko, for those who don't know, Saiko is big on book, chapter, and verse, right? So we want to talk about Samaritan. Here it is. Here's book, chapter, and verse right here for everything you want to know about the Samaritans right here. And all I did was click on the word. Now, here it is, ways that Samaritans are referred to in the Bible in the Greek. We have this option here.
Samarites.
We have this option.
Samaria.
So there's 2 different ways Samaritans are referred to in the Bible. So if I want to see what this first one is all about, I click the arrow. Here, book, chapter, and verse of where the Samaritans are referred to as this. Not only that, it has the word highlighted. You can see the highlighted word because that's what we're looking at, right? So here are the other instances of where that word is used, like
Samaria.
Like that. So here's book, chapter, and verse for all of those. If I wanted to save these passages, I can click save as a passage list. You see it right here. And Logos is going to open up another window, and it's going to show me all of those passages like in a document. So I can always have that for future use. Now watch this. Here's now Hebrew. I mentioned Hebrew before. So this is where Samaritans and how they're referred to in Hebrew.
Shomron.
Right, and here are my texts for that, my book, chapter, and verse, where they're referred to as that. Now, I'm really gonna show off now. Here is how the Samaritans in the Bible are referred to as a pronoun. All right, let me go back to English class. Now, Trent was real smart in school. He know this. So if I say, what's a pronoun? You know that's gonna be what? A person, place, or a thing, right? So I click pronoun. Watch this. Here's the word her. Here's the word theirs. Here's the word they, them. Those are pronouns, but those pronouns are referring to the Samaritans. So anywhere in the Bible where there's a pronoun that is referring to a Samaritan, it's going to show you right here. It's saying it's 20 instances of pronouns in the Bible where they're referred to as a pronoun. Here are the instances where it's Samaritan. Here are the instances where it's Samaria, right? If they're the implied subject of a verb, the verb is an action word, right? So lived, returned, welcome, those are action words. So if any of these action words or verbs are referring to Samaritans, here's the text where it is. Now, it doesn't get more specific than that when you're trying to do some research on a particular person, place, or thing. So that's why I said Factbook is your new best friend. Now, I'm not even finished. So here are all of the events that relate to Samaritan in the Bible. Book, chapters, verses. I can rest my cursor and give me a quick synopsis. I can click on it and it'll open it up. Here's a timeline, the full-blown timeline of Samaritans in the Bible. Here's additional dictionaries where I can get more definitions. Here's theological journals, the biblical repertoire of the Princeton Review on Samaritans. Wow. Pause right here. If you have, let's say, the silver version logos or the gold version, you may not have theological journal. The results here are dependent upon which version logos that you have. So if you are a pastor, full-time pastor, maybe an associate pastor, you probably want to be in that diamond version, right? Because you're going to do more in-depth study, let's say, than a layperson to help you in your study. So that's why if you open this up and you don't have any theological journals here, that's why. It's kind of based on facts, right? So now you have different additional resources you can purchase within Logos. I'm scrolling down. I'm still not even finished, y'all. I'm still in the Factbook. That's all in the Factbook. I could probably do Factbook and call it a day, Saiko, we go and get some lunch.
It's good, bro.
Factbook, right? So here's workflows. A workflow. Like, let me break it down like this. Saiko, y'all have IKEA in Houston?
Who?
IKEA, the store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, most of y'all have IKEA, right?
Yep.
You get a bookshelf from IKEA. It's going to be, fairly inexpensive because you got to put it together yourself, right? So you open up that bookshelf and it's going to say, here are the A's for the pieces of wood, the A stack, then the B stack. Then you have some nails and a little tool to help you put it together.
Right.
You would be lost without step-by-step instructions on how to put that bookshelf together. Am I correct? If you ever try to put something together from IKEA, you'd be lost without the instructions. Right. What a workflow is in Logos. A workflow is a step-by-step, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, instructional tool to help you understand what you're studying. So within Factbook, there's workflows. So here's a biblical person study or a biblical topic study. And I'll show you more about this in a minute. But it's going to say, step 1, do this. Step 2, do that. Step 3, read it in different translations. Step 4, consult your commentaries. This is your instruction manual on studying a particular person, place, or thing, and that's called a workflow. Wow. We even have a workflow for pastors who want to write an expository sermon. We have the expository sermon workflow that walks you through step by step. It's so detailed that step 1 says, start with prayer. That's how detailed it is. So that's what a workflow is, okay? Wow. Now, we got more information about, again, the genealogies and inhabitants. Then you get into geography and all of that. So I don't have time to go through all of it. But what you just saw in that was the Factbook. Again, it's here in the top left. You can go to Tools, Factbook there, or you can turn on the visual filter right here and click on the word within the text.
Hey, real quick, Chauncey. So would it be quicker? Would it be more efficient for us just to have the Factbook turned on, just to have it on by default? Or is it an option?
You can, and one of the things I need to check, so this icon up here is new, but there's a way in the settings where you can tell Logos what to open up by default.
Gotcha.
Right? So in mine, I had this is what opened up by default. So I believe there may be a way, and I have to check, and I can let the group know.
Okay.
If you can have Logos open up the Factbook by default. I'll be surprised if it's not. If it's not, I'm calling the developer person and say, can we make that an option?
Cool.
Okay. So I'm gonna pause right here because I'm really just getting started. So I want to pause and see if there's any questions, anything that hadn't been clarified, anything that you're unclear about from what you've seen so far.
I'm still, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Trent.
My question is, when you highlighted from the CSB Bible study notes,
Yes.
why did you not highlight the citation as well? Does it not allow you, or did you were just moving? You didn't click 422, the verse.
Yeah, I just highlighted that particular section as an example.
But well, I guess what I'm saying is, I'm a stickler for knowing where I am. When you highlighted the section, why did you not highlight chapter 4, verse 22 when you put it over into Word?
I was just showing the citation capability. So I literally just randomly picked something, right? So I could have highlighted both. I just randomly just to show you how to copy and paste. That's all. I like that. See, you keep me on my toes, Trent. I appreciate that. All right, Saiko, you had a question too, I think?
Yeah, I was just going to ask anybody else. I mean, so far, what do you all think? If you wanted to comment, because I know some of y'all may be new at seeing this, but I haven't even touched on some of the stuff that you had mentioned on it before, Chauncey. I haven't never even familiarized myself with this. You know, so this is mind blowing to me, and I know you haven't even gotten out the deep digging tools on this stuff yet.
I'm in first gear right now.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Well, for me, I haven't used this too much because honestly, I didn't really know how, and I could quit right now and be.
Kevin, I'm with you, bro. I've had it for 20 years. I've had it for 20 years. Upgrade, and never. Factbook. I mean, even if that's a new option, that's a new feature. All the other stuff. I mean, I just haven't really. I never had been, tutored into this program like this. So I'm just blown with it, bro.
Wow. And so Factbook was in the previous version of Logos, but what we did in 9 was we enhanced it. I want to say it's like 75% more information, and that number might be off, so don't quote me on that, but it's a whole lot more information in Logos 9 than in Factbook before. And if you have Logos on your phone right now this is new. Factbook is now on your mobile device. It wasn't before. So you can open up your phone, and I can show you if you have time. I can share my screen on my phone too. Where you can click Factbook and do everything that you're seeing right here in Factbook.
Cool.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
I'm sorry I had to step away. My doorbell rang, but on the right-hand side where it has information,
Yes.
over here, does that come up automatically, or is that something you clicked on to open it up?
When I did the passage study layout, what you see right now, everything comes by default. That's in the passage study layout. So let me just show you real quick. So I type in JN4 and see up top, it says passage study layout.
Yes.
Whenever you do a passage study layout, this is what it looks like. Let me show you. I'm glad you mentioned that, Albie. I'm going to go here to guides up top. And you can see here this passage guide. So there's many types of guides. I just showed you one guide out of many. So when you click this, all of this opens up by default. But what I am going to show you a little bit later on is how you can customize this layout and save it just like you want it. You may not want all of this, or you might want additional stuff to pop up. I can show you how to customize that as well.
Okay.
All right, on the left-hand side. So again, passage guide, JN4, click it, all this information pops up. You know what? Okay, let me do this. Let me go back to worship for a second. So before I clicked on it and the information screen pop, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper here just for a second. I'm gonna right click on the word worship. I'm right clicking, and you see all this information pulls up. So here's all of my Greek words, all the information you saw before. Now I have all of these events. It gives me a ton of information on the word worship. All I did was right click on the word worship, right? Now I'm going to go over here. I can do a text comparison. If I do that, it's going to show me multiple translations of the Bible and how they handle it, kind of like what you saw before.
Right.
I can copy, I can highlight, I can do some other. I wish I had time to show you all this, but I want to show you this right here, the Bible word study. I'm going to click that, and it's going to open up in this window right here and make it bigger. Right click, open in a floating window. Okay. This is on the word worship. This is just the word worship. I right click, I just open up a Bible word study on the word worship. So here is some information, some definitions, right? I have the Tony Evans study Bible. I just added that recently. Whatever your preferred one, that'll open up. I have the Apologetics Study Bible. I can click on that. That's going to give me what it has to say about worship. I can open up this systematic theology book. It's going to tell me about worship. The Baker Encyclopedia, the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia, the Erdman's Dictionary of the Bible. Again, your resources will depend on what package you have. I just wanted to show you that whatever you have will pull up right here. But that's not the main thing I wanted to show you. So here's a topic guide for worship, right? Here's a sermon starter guide. If you're a pastor or a preacher, you want to do a sermon on worship, Logos will launch you into a new guide that's going to walk you through how to write a sermon on the topic of worship. But what I wanted to also show you, here are the Hebrew words in the CSB on worship, right? And you see all these different options. I can rest my cursor, and these are the different ways in Hebrew the word worship is used. You can get it here, rest my cursor. I can click on it, get some more information. Here's the Greek right here. Here's the one I use a lot, the sensitive. I'm not a Greek student. I'm not a language student, right? So I rely totally on Logos because I didn't go to seminary to learn languages and whatnot. So I need all the help I can get.
Right.
So here are the senses of the word worship. So what that basically means is, and Saiko, if I get this wrong, please correct me. These are ways that the Bible uses that word worship in different senses or tenses, not tenses, right, but different situations. Right, so here's the word worship, meaning to bow down. Here's another option that says to worship, here to offer. Here's one meaning to serve. Here's one meaning to praise, right? So if I click on, let's say the word, the one that says to bow down, I drop the arrow and look at this. These are all of the instances in the Bible where the word worship means to bow down. All I did was click on. So here are all of the book chapters and verses where it says the word worship, meaning bowing down, is used in this way. Why is this important? Well, I come to a text. I might see a certain word and I might think that it means one thing because I'm maybe used to it, or I might be reading it out of context. But if I go here and say, oh, this word worship means to bow down in this text or in this context, then that alleviates me reading text. Or it prevents me from reading text out of context because I can see exactly how the Bible intended it to be used in that particular context. So if I wanted to say, okay, what about worship in terms of praise? All right, so I click my arrow and here are all of the books, chapters, and verses where the word worship is in the form of praise, right? And then I have the Hebrew and Greek and all that information right there. So this is, and I don't even have time to go through all of it. That's just some of it. And all I did was right click on the word worship and all this information pulled up. So sorry, that was a little detour, but I get excited about, and wanting people to read the text in context. So this is a tool to help you do just that. Now,
can I share something?
Yes.
I'm glad you went to the word worship, and not to get off, but Trent and I belong to the same ministry, and we're teaching what's called firm foundations. So once you go through new members, you have to enroll in now firm foundations to build a foundation. So we both have taught on worship before. And whatever semester it is, the teaching's going on, we teach different things. So Trent and I both, the fact that you chose worship, I was excited because I know every time I teach, I try to go back and, do another study and, bring something else. And so we both teach amongst other subjects on worship. So that was perfect. I'm excited about that.
Wow. Now you better go to your Logos and explore it even further. Now that you can dive in even more.
Yes. Hey, I want to know, is my strongest concordance just paperweight now?
It is.
Okay.
It is. It is. So and Kevin, in case you missed it, I don't know if you saw that, but you see down here look, I'm on the bottom right hand corner. I don't know if you see my cursor.
Yeah.
You see Greek Strongs right here.
Yeah.
There it is. So yeah, it's paperweight now.
Yeah.
All right, now watch this. I'm on the left hand side now, and all this is the passage guide. I wish I had more time. This is just one way to study the text, the passage guide. Now look on the left-hand side. Here are all of my commentaries. Now, again, the types of commentaries you have will depend on whatever package you purchase. All right. So what I'm using right now, this is the Diamond. I have Standard Diamond, and I also have Reformed Diamond because we have denominational packages as well. So I just have, so when you see a lot of Calvin stuff, that's because I have the Reformed Diamond in addition to the Standard Diamond. If you have the Baptist version, you may have more Baptist resources, or if you're non-denomination, you just have the Standard, and that's what you'll get. Now watch this. So here's different ways that you can study your commentaries in Logos. Now we all know that the main source of information comes from the text itself. We start there. We don't start with commentaries. We start with the text. The commentaries may help us get some clarity on some things, but the main thing comes from the text. So I just want to be clear with that. Now here, priority. This is one that's selected. This is saying that Logos is going to present to me commentaries based on priority, meaning these are the ones I've told Logos, these are my preferred ones. And then after my preferred ones, Logos is going to give me recommended commentaries based on what I'm studying. So we're not going to leave you out in the dark. Now, here's something that's new in Logos. In 9. Here's on the Bible Knowledge Commentary as an example. I click this arrow, and let me use the CSB Study Bible. So here's the actual commentary on that particular text. So before, I used to have to click it and it opened up in another window. Now you can get a preview right over here on this left-hand side. Okay, so that's new. The other thing that's new is this, series. I click series. Logos now presents to me all of my commentary series that I have in my library. Again, based on what package you own. So if I want to look at the ACCS commentary series, here it is. If I want to look at the Bible Speaks Today's commentary set, there it is. So that's new. The other thing that's new is by author. Now, Logos has taken all of my commentaries and I can find them quickly. You see they're in alphabetical order. So if I want to look at William Barclay as example, click that. There are his 2 commentaries on John right there. Now, watch this, denomination. Wow. I click on denomination. Now Logos, this is new in 9.
Wow.
Give me all of my commentaries based on denomination. So if I'm Anglican, I click that. Here are my Anglican commentary sets right here. If I'm Methodist, I click that. Now, why is that important? Well, one, you can kind of stick to whatever you feel the scripture says. If you feel you're Reformed or whatever, you want to stay in that camp, that's fine. Or if you want to get different views of how other denominations may view the text, you got that. So that's the reason why. It's really easy to use now that it has that separated out. Now type, look, Saiko like this, by type. Now here are all of my commentaries separated by type. So all of my exegetical commentaries are here. All of my homiletic commentaries are here. So it gives you a variety of ways to find specifically what you want to help you in the tool. So let's say I want this Pillar New Testament commentary. Click it. Look over here in the bottom, in the middle, you see that? Yeah. And notice it opened up to John 4 because I told Logos that's what I was studying in the beginning, right? So you don't have to go and flip anymore. It's already there. Here's the last one over here, error. Now Logos is saying, you want to study contemporary commentaries from 1960 to the present? There you go. If you want the Nicene commentaries on that period, there you go. So again, it gives you extreme flexibility in finding the commentaries that you want. I look at Saiko, he's just shaking his head right now.
And Kevin is almost about to fall out of his chair.
I'm blown away.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you, brother.
Now, I'm getting ready to go into second year now. All right, we're kind of first. Yeah, Trent, what you got?
What is that below the Library of the Fathers of the Holy Catholic Church? What is
the arrow? The arrow.
Good question. So we're in era now, right? And you would probably notice the same thing with denomination. Well, no, denomination didn't do it. Right. See here on the series, you got that blank right here.
Yes.
That blank arrow. Okay. So what that means is these are, let me go back to arrow. These are the commentaries in my set that don't fit in any of those particular categories. So it's like you have all these categories and then this is everything else.
Okay.
So that's what that means. Good question. Really good question.
Good. I was wondering that too.
Yeah. So here's now parallel passages. Here are all of my parallel passages. Click this arrow. All the parallel passages for John 4, right here. Here are all of my cross references using the treasure of scripture knowledge. All of my my cross references from Genesis to Revelation, all right here. I can rest my cursor and then it'll give me a quick synopsis, or I can click it and it'll open up. And you know how much time we just saved by this section right here? Now, Logos is saying, you want to study John 4, okay, I got you. Here's some important passages throughout the Bible that we recommend that you also study that relate to John that we recommend you study, right? So those are those. Here are the important words. These Logos is saying these are words that we feel are crucial for you to study and understand when you study John 4 or whatever you study. Now we have maps, biblical places. You can study all about the geography of what was going on at the time of John 4. Here's all the biblical people. Here are biblical things, right? And then we have all of the events of John 4. Right? Man, there's no reason for us to be biblically illiterate in 2020. There's no reason at all, right? Here outlines, all the outlines already done for you, multiple outlines, cultural concepts, all right? Cultural concepts is what can get people in trouble because we want to insert a 2020 lens on what the text is actually saying as opposed to what the original author intended. And so to not have to worry about that, Logos is saying these are some cultural concepts to help you understand the culture at the time the text was written, so we can look at it from that lens and not try to look at it from the lens that we may feel we think we know it from. That gets us in trouble. We want to deal with the original author intended. That's that. Now, we're going to go open up some systematic theology books, right? Saiko, you have a favorite systematic theology book?
Yeah, Wayne Grudem.
All right, I got a prop. I promise we didn't rehearse this, but stay right here. Okay. Look like this, right?
Yep, I got it right here too.
That right here.
Yep, that's the one.
You know how thick this book is, right?
Yeah.
The book is huge.
Yeah.
When we say Logos has 2,000 resources or 1,000 books, what I mean by that is, we literally, these are the full book right here. This just happens to be Wayne Grudem's systematic theology book, right? So now, so there you go. So now Logos is saying, we want to do a systematic study on within the context of John 4. So here are all of my systematic theology topics right here. I have theology proper, Christology, pneumatology, soteriology, etc. Now let's say, I heard this PNEU something, so I don't know what that word is. Put my cursor on it. It says, pneumatology, study of the Holy Spirit. Okay. Well, watch this. Well, what is that? The study of the Holy Spirit as it relates to John 4. Click my arrow. Bam, there we go. It opened up all of my systematic theology books to this topic. Look at this, the text is highlighted right here. Right? Not only that, it's going to give you different denominational views of how, let's say, the Anglicans view the study of the Holy Spirit. How do the Baptists view the study of the Holy Spirit? It's right there. What do Reformed folks say? Right there. It's all right there. And all I did was click this arrow and it pulled it up. So let's say I want to study eschatology. Oh, that's the study of the last things. Click that, and there we go. What about ecclesiology, study of the church? Click that, there we go. And all I have to do is click on any one of these. It's going to open up my systematic theology book to that particular topic. Now you're probably saying, man, what kind of research did you do to get Logos to open all this up? Reminder, I went to the top, I typed in John 4, I clicked passage study layout, and all of this opened up by itself. I didn't do anything else, nothing else, right? Confessional documents, sermon outlines, Faithlife sermons. All right, let me pause here. So if you write a sermon in Logos, and we're going to show you that, we're going to show you how you can write a sermon in Logos. Once you finish, you can upload that sermon into faithlife.com. Faithlife.com. Think about faithlife.com like Facebook. You got your friends and all that, right? So it's kind of like that. So you can upload your sermons into Faithlife. And so now once you do that, you've made it accessible to anyone that has Logos. So here are sermons that people, and we have over 4.5 million Logos users right now. Anyone that's uploaded a sermon in Logos, it'll pull up right here. And what's this sermon about? It's about John 4, because that's what we're studying. So now you can see how other people may have created a sermon. We're not talking about plagiarism. That's a whole other ballgame. I'm just talking about being able to look at other people's sermons that they've done, right? Now we got different themes. We have thematic outlines. So now Logos is saying, okay, we're studying John 4. What are themes of John 4? And let me give you some outlines. All right, what about the authority of Jesus Christ? Click it. There you go. There's a full-blown thematic outline on the authority of Jesus Christ in John 4. All right here. All right. Let me close this up. All right, now this is, we're really showing off here. What a concept, Saiko. The preacher and the music department are on the same page.
Yeah.
The preacher's preaching about John 4. What if you could have it so that the lyrics in the music coincide with what you're teaching and preaching that day? Well, Logos has you right here. Here are all of the Christian hymns and contemporary Christian music that are related to John 4. Not only that, you click this, you get the sheet music. You click another button, it'll start playing it for you. I click another button, it's gonna take that joint gonna take me to YouTube and gonna teach me how to play the chords on a piano or a guitar for that particular song. All I do is click a button. Now we all ready to go have some lunch. You want me to keep going?
Man, look. This is crazy, yo. This is crazy.
So that's the music feature, and there's some more stuff. I'm gonna quit on the passage guide for a minute now because there's so much more. But I want to make sure we get some more things, and we're gonna go over time a little bit. If you have to leave, I understand. But let me pause and see if there's any questions about the passage guide so far. That's all we've done.
Who are we having in the chat right now? Let's see who are we having in the chat to get a little head count here.
But we have full crew. Everyone that was here from the beginning is still here.
Okay, let's see. So, any questions, y'all? Yolanda, I see.
How much is it?
Good afternoon. I don't have any questions so far because I came in a bit late. And so now I am caught up that all you did was start it out by typing John 4 in there. And then everything, all the resources that pertains to that comes up. So that's what I wanted to know from the beginning. Like, how does all of this open up for me? Because I don't have Logos as yet. I intend on buying it. So I was introduced to this so that I can have a preview of how it operates. So I don't have any questions. I'm just taking in the information.
Awesome. Great. And Jackson, I'm gonna get to pricing in just a minute. I think was that you asking the pricing?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. I'll show you that. Yeah, can you hang on for a few minutes or you gotta run?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Yep, we're gonna get to that in a minute. So what I want to look at now is, so we looked at the Bible, obviously, we've looked at commentaries, we've looked at Greek, we looked at Hebrew, and all that's great. So we have some things in Logos that help us be more interactive with the text. And those are called interactives. These are programs or features within Logos that help you, again, interact with the text a little bit more. So let me show you a couple of interactives. So I'm going to click this. Oh, it went on my other screen. Give me a second. Let me transplant it over here. Second. There we go. All right. So I'm going to show you a couple of interactives. I want to show you the weights and measures. This is probably my favorite one. Weights and measures. All right. Now, Saiko, you sure your wife still? You watch? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
when y'all sitting around a dinner table and you talking, do you use words like shekel or talent other than like playing basketball or cubits? I mean, they're not words we use in, the Woods household might, but in my household, we don't use words like that in normal conversation, right? No. But in the Bible, we come across words like that all the time. Yeah. And if we're honest, and I'm the first one raising my hand guilty, sometimes I just skip over it. Like something is 20 shekels. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Let me go ahead and skip that. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, no more of that because we have the weights and measures converter in Logos, which is an interactive. Now, here you go. Here you see all the chart. That's great. All right, that's great. Don't get me wrong. But here's the beauty of it here. Let's say I get to a text, Saiko, and something says that it's 100 cubits. Watch this. 100 cubits is about 10 and a half mid-size sedans, or about four city buses, about 3.5 humpback whales, a little more than 2 semi-trucks. Or if Kevin really wasn't paying attention, he needs a little more information. It's about the size of a jet. So now, when I'm studying the text and it says 100 cubits, I'm preaching, I'm teaching, I'm reading for myself. I'm saying, well, you know, that's like 4 city buses. Then you're like, oh, I got it. I know what 100 cubits is now. And it's all right there. So that's what the weights and measures converter will do for you in Logos. So that's just one of the interactives. Let me show you another one. This is called the Psalms Explorer. I know you all love studying the Psalms. If you're anything like me, you love studying the Psalms, right? So I open up Psalms Explorer. The first thing it shows me is all 150 Psalms from top to bottom. You see it, number 1, 2, 3, 4, all down to 150. Now, you're probably saying, okay, well, that's cool. You got them listed in order. And yeah, you can rest your cursor on it. It gives you information. You click on it and open your Bible. Okay, that's not too impressive. But what if I wanted to study the Psalm by genre? Watch it. I'm going to click by genre. And boom. Here are all of the Psalms separated by genre. These bubbles represent the text. So all of the Psalms of lament right here are in blue. All the Psalms of praise are right here in red. All the royal, etc. And all I do is rest my cursor and it's going to tell me which one it is. You say, okay, what about by author? I click by author. Here are all of the Psalms by author. Here's by book right here. Now, let me go back in order and watch this. Now, somebody calls Saiko and says, hey, bro, I'm going through a tough time. Can you help me go to some scripture to help me? You know, I need to seek the Lord in this, right? And so, you know, unless you're a Bible scholar like Saiko, he can probably tell you go straight to, you know, X, Y, and Z. But some of us, we may not be as versed as that, and we might need some help. So watch this. I'm going to say, okay, bro, what you struggling with? Man, my praise is just, I'm not feeling like I'm praising like I should. So I'm going to click praise. Logos is now giving me all the Psalms of praise. Watch this. Then he says, you know, my worship, man, I'm struggling in my worship. Let me click worship. Bam. Now, man, my joy isn't where it needs to be. I'm feeling dry. I click joy. Now let's see what Logos just did. Logos has given me all the Psalms that deal with praise, worship, and joy. And here they are right here. So now I can say, hey, man, you might want to check out Psalm 33, 47, and 48. They'll help you with what you're going through, right? So it'll help you in your devotional time. Again, if you're helping someone else, this is just, again, another way to interact with the Bible. All right, let me give you one more. Now, this is new to Logos 9. This is the Bible Books Explorer. Now, I jokingly tell, you know, with Saiko, if you follow him on social media, you know, he's a big book chapter and verse guy. Like, where'd you get that from? Where's the proof and all of that? Well, here's the Bible Books Explorer. And I don't know who that was, Saiko. I heard you on your Instagram. You were talking about somebody that was going to back out on a debate or something like that, right? Yeah. So I might call him and get him some logos so he can do a little more, you know, a little more fair fight, you know, fair fight, right? So if he or she had this, now I'm ready to study the books of the Bible in a more interactive way. So here are all the books of the Bible. Now you see these different colors, right? So we got, here's the legend up here, narrative, we got future events, dark blue, we have narrative story, we have procedural, how to do it, how it was done. So all these different categories within the books of the Bible. I'm going to pick Genesis just as an example. So I click Genesis and it says the story, here's the story of many beginnings from creation to origin, et cetera, et cetera. Here's a summary of Genesis. Here's the purpose of Genesis. Here's the key message of Genesis. Here are the details. It's a law book. Moses was the author. The language is Hebrew. Here's a biblical error. Hebrew division, key verses, key people, key places, key things, key events, composition dates, when it was written. This thing even tell you how many words in Genesis, 32,161 words. If you really want to know what's going on in Genesis, this Bible Books Explorer will tell you just that. All right. So now if you want to do a little more deeper dive, look on the left-hand side. Here's my filter. I can go Old Testament, New Testament, even has apocryphal books up here, Deuterocanonical books are right here. Church epistles, history, minor prophets. So you can click on any one of these and sort through the book of the Bible that you want to study. So if I want to do the Pauline letters, I click that and there they are right there. Okay. Now, let me go back to all. Now, look over here on the right-hand side. This is how I can sort these out. I can sort them out by ranked. So these are ranked by numbers of books, numbers of words, numbers of chapters, verses, set timeline. I can click timeline. Here's a full-blown timeline of all of the books in the Bible. Now, this next one, Logo showed off for real on this one. This is called the intertext feature of studying the books of the Bible. Now, I click that. Now, look at what this is. This is a beautiful graph that shows you all of the books of the Bible, and it's telling you instances of where the Old Testament is quoted in the New Testament. So it's looking at the intertext of that. So for example, here's Psalm, P.S. I rest my cursor on it. It tells me Psalms is quoted in all of these books of the Bible on the left-hand side. All right. Now let me make this small. I want to show you one other thing within this. So let me make this here. Okay. So you see these side by side. So I'm going to click Psalms again and watch this. Psalms. Now on the right-hand side, these are the specific verses, books, chapters, and verses where the Psalms are quoted in the New Testament. They're all right. Saiko, you all right?
I'm getting dizzy.
Right. So this is
a lot of work to do.
Look at my filtering options. This is citation. This is where the Old Testament is cited in the New Testament. Here I click quotation. This is where that Old Testament verse is actually quoted in the New Testament. Allusion. This is where it's alluded to in the New Testament. Echo is where it's not necessarily cited, it's not quoted, alluded. It's kind of in a ballpark, I guess is a loose way to say that, of the text. And it's all right here. So this is the new Bible Books Explorer for Logos 9. So if you don't have 9, you don't have this particular feature. So those are just a couple of interactives within the Logos program. Now I'm going to shift gears in our last few minutes to go to some pastoral tools. Saiko, what you got?
Stay right there real quick for that weights and measures. I want you to do something if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
And this is probably going to pique the interest of those who are watching this. So we all know the story of Noah's Ark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want you to put the breakdown on the size of that ark. So I'm reading in Genesis chapter 6,
okay,
at verse 15.
Okay.
And this is how you shall make the ark. The length of the ark, 300 cubits.
"12 city buses, a little more than 10 humpback whales, a little less than 7 semi-trucks, 3 Boeing 757 airliners, or about half of a tower bridge."
Okay, then the next part it says, so that's 300, so the length of it is 300 cubits.
Mm-hmm.
The breadth of it is 50 cubits.
2 city buses, 2 humpback whales, just over 1 semi-truck.
What's the breadth mean? Like the inside of it?
The breadth?
The width.
The width. Not wide.
Okay.
Yeah. You got the length, the breadth, the height.
What's
the
the
height
height?
of it? The height of it is 30 cubits.
30 cubits.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
That sucker was big.
The thing was big. Yeah. Bottom line, it was big.
That sucker was huge. I just wanted because somebody in the chat they was wondering about the ark, and before I had even read that, I said, man, let me go to Genesis 6, man, to see, how big this ark was, how long it was. So yeah.
That's if that doesn't put it in perspective, I don't know what does. Yeah. All right, let me hit something.
Hey,
yes.
my speaker went out. So how big was it? I didn't hear it. My speaker went out real quick, so I just had to turn it back on.
Let me go back to it. Let me go back to my tools and weights and measures. That's how you get to it, by the way. Tools and then weights and measures. These are all of the other interactives right here. You see these? There's a lot of them.
Interactive media.
Yeah.
I see.
Yep, interactive. So I went to weights and measures, and that last one I think we did was 30 cubits.
And what was that? The inside, or what is that?
The breadth of it.
Oh, okay.
The breadth of it was let me see.
50 cubits.
50, yeah.
50. And you know what? Something else to point out too. We missed this the first time. We were looking at the pictures, I think. But look over here in the verbiage. 26.4 yards or 79.2 feet, meters. So, it's, so it even gives you that as well, in addition to the pictures.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Question. Can you go back to the trunk of this? You said interactives. At the top of it, what did you click on to get to interactives?
I went to tools.
Okay.
I scroll down and I get to interactive media.
Okay, interactive media. Thank you.
Yep. These are all of these different types of, and that Psalms with the bubbles, that was interactive media too. That was Psalms Explorer. Yep. So those are all right there. Okay. Now, I'm gonna shift gears to some pastoral tools right now.
Yeah.
If that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
All right. Anybody on this call do any counseling of people? If you do, man, what I'm gonna show you right now is what most pastors saw and said, I want Logos 9. You can skip all that other stuff. I want this right here. This is what's called the counseling guide. New to Logos 9. The counseling guide. I went to guide, counseling guide. That's how it got here.
Okay.
This is where someone comes to you, a friend, someone that attends your church, you're a small group leader. If you want to help anyone, this is for you. So you don't have to be a pastor for it. This is good. Pastors do a lot of counseling. That's why they like this feature. All right. So someone comes to you because they are having some, let's say, marriage issues. So I'm going to type in marriage. Look at the options. It gives me marriage. It gives me boundaries in marriage, communication in marriage, conflict in marriage, depression, spiritual intimacy, etc. Remarriage. So a lot of different counseling topics. So I want to go with just marriage. I want to go communication in marriage. Okay, we're going to click that. Let me make this bigger. So Logos is saying, okay, you want to help counsel someone that's having issues with communicating in their marriage. So Logos is saying, here are the counseling topics. We got relationship communication. We got familiar relationships. So you can click on any one of these to get more information there. So we got a summary, difference of opinion, financial independence, reduced tolerance levels, lead to marital dispute. So it's giving you all of this background information as you get ready to counsel these folks that are having marital issues. Now we have, it opens up these quick reference guides to marriage and family counseling. And it gives you related counseling topics like conflict, prayer, communication, speech, etc. I want to click on one of these tools here, communication in marriage. Let me make this bigger. This is the thing that walks you through as a counselor or mentor to help someone through communication issues in their marriage. Step 1, portraits. Kind of like some case studies to help you see, okay, what are some examples of communication in marriage? So you as a counselor can get some background information. You want to get ready to help them out, all right? That's portraits. Number 2, definitions and key thoughts. So here's some key definitions that you would want to know as a counselor as people are going through communication issues. Now this step 3 is what the pastor at my church, when I showed him, he's a counseling elder at our church, he saw this, he almost fell out of his chair at the coffee shop when I showed him this.
Wow.
The assessment interview questions. Why did he almost fall out of the chair? He said because asking the right questions initially is the hardest part of counseling. Getting to the heart of what the issue is. Well, Logos already has that for you. It says, for example, how often do you and your spouse talk about intimate things? How often do you and your spouse have long and meaningful conversations? So it's walking you through interviewing that person, so to speak, and you can fill in the blanks here, by the way. You type in your answers right there, by the way, and it saves it in a note file within Logos. So it's giving you the initial assessment interview questions. Step 4 is giving you counsel on giving them counsel on giving them wise counsel. Next, step 5, action steps. Okay, person A, person B, here's some next steps I would recommend. Step 1, spend more time talking. Consider the amount of time you spend together, et cetera, et cetera. Don't allow anything to interfere with your communication. Be careful with nonverbal communication. So you're walking them through this step by step. And then step 6 is going to give you biblical insights to the topic that you're dealing with. So here's verse, look on the far right. We got book, chapter, and verse to help you deal with communication issues in marriage. And step 7, prayer starter. It's going to help you start prayer with that person. And lastly, it's going to give you recommended resources that you can recommend to them to help them deal with their marriage issues. So this is just one counseling topic in the counseling guide. So if we did, let's say grief is another one, right? You click grief, click it, there we go. Now you're ready to walk that person through the grief process. So again, this is the counseling guide, new to Logos 9. It comes with silver and above. You get the counseling guide. Now, who are these resources we're pulling from? Dr. Tim Clinton, June Hunt, the Association for Biblical Counselors. We work with all of them to put these resources together so you as the pastor, preacher, teacher, mentor, have at your fingertips. And all you do is type in the topic, you go to guides, counseling guide, and there you go.
That's
so
good.
Man, I'm telling you, pastors people are loving that because, man, the time it takes to do this is phenomenal.
Chauncey, let me tell you something, man. My wife and I, we do biblical counseling. Matter of fact, we were personally trained and mentored under NANC counselors. And so what you're showing me, and like you said, the Association of Biblical Counselors, we ABC, we're familiar with this stuff. So to have this at your fingertips, man, versus, and I'm not knocking the books. I mean,
sure,
praise God for it, but man, just to have it at your fingertips, bro. I mean, the hours that you've already, salvaged and was able to preserve, and just having that, it just, it's immense. It's remarkable, bro.
It's crazy. And if you are I won't just say pastor or preacher, teacher, anyone who writes lessons or sermons, what I'm going to show you now are two separate tools. I'm going to do them separately.
Mr. Allmond, I do have a question just before you move on.
Absolutely.
When you were going through the part where you can actually type in the answers for the assessment, that information is stored and unique to the person that has logged in, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so it's not available, like, for instance, how you can be able to view someone else's sermon. Another person will not be able to view an answer to assessments, right?
That's correct. Good question.
Thank you so much.
Good question. That information, and I wish I had time to do this, is stored in the notes feature within Logos. The notes feature in Logos. When I'm saying notes, I'm talking about, some of you may use Evernote, you might use OneNote, you might use the note feature on your phone, right, to take notes. The notes feature in Logos is so intense that our internal training for the notes feature alone is 2 hours on how to take, not how to take notes, but how to use Logos to categorize your notes and find your notes. So I didn't even touch that today because, man, you get me started on notes. We're here for another hour. I just want to tell you how in-depth it is.
Yeah.
It's at your fingertips with the notes feature. So here,
thank you.
You're welcome. Here is where we're going to create a sermon in Logos. This is called Sermon Builder. If you had a previous version of Logos, it was called Sermon Editor. Now it's called Sermon Builder because we're actually going to be built. Now that is kind of a misnomer because, again, you don't have to use this for sermons. It could be lessons that you're writing or anything that you need to type the transcript of in a text. It's right here. This is how you do it. So when you launch Sermon Builder, this is what you get. You get a blank screen ready to fill in some information. All right. So here's a title of my sermon. Saiko, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Give me a title of a sermon you did recently. Just, you can make up something if you don't know.
Yeah. When we refuse to wait on God.
When we refuse to wait on God. All right. Now, first thing that you notice on the left-hand side, this little green thing right here.
Mm-hmm.
Logos automatically created the slide for my sermon.
Wow.
You're not going to PowerPoint anymore. Logos automatically created the slide. Now, let's say you don't like that. I'm going to click that. I'm going to click edit. Now, this is what it looked like when I typed in what he said. All right, you probably say, oh, that's that green. I don't know. I don't like that green. Let me click this little icon on the right-hand side. And here are all of my options. So let's say, I don't know, let's say, okay, Saiko likes that one. I think Saiko might like that. We click that. Yeah. Now Logos is set. Now there's my new slide. And I want to click update. So now my sermon has been updated. You see it updated with that new slide. Now, as I type my first heading, I'm gonna make up something, Saiko, right quick.
Yeah.
God is good. That's my first bullet point in my sermon. Look at what just happened. Slide was created. Logos creates my Logos is creating. Yes, sir.
I got a question. We use Proclaim.
Yes.
Does this automatically sync with that?
Brother Bayless, all I have to do is click a button and export. You see export right here?
Yeah.
I'm going to click export, send to Proclaim. You see that top option?
Gee.
Now your AV people that are responsible for putting stuff on the screen, once you click that button, it's done. They have it. You could be at Starbucks working on your sermon on Sunday morning, and you make some changes, click that button. By the time you walk into the church, it's already done. It's already on the screen, right? So here, so now I can go in and I'm going to tell Logos, you know, let me do this. I'm going to close this out and I'm going to open up a sermon that's already done. I'm going to pull what you watch cooking shows, right? And they have the salt, the sugar, and then next thing you know, they open up the oven and it's all done. All right, I'm going to pull that right now. I'm going to open up a sermon that's already baked just for your viewing pleasure. Let me go to Docs and I'm going to open this Colossians 3 sermon and I'm going to make this bigger for you. Okay, so here's a sermon on Colossians 3 right here. Okay, it's all filled in. Now, I see this blue section right here. You're preaching and teaching, right? And you want them to really follow along. So you want to give them a handout with fill in the blanks. So you go and tell Logos which words you want to blank out. I'm printing this, Saiko. Now I'm giving it to my church. I'm ready to preach. I'm preaching, and I am killing it up there. Now I'm saying, okay, let's see how you all did. I click a button and there's my words for myself. So Logos helps you create handouts at the same time. So that's that. So here are all of my my topics, my bullet points, my slides, all that's done, right? So now on the right, look at on the right-hand side, this is information that I've typed in to tell Logos what's included in my sermon, like the passages, the occasion, the date, the location. It's giving me all of that. Now watch this. It's telling me that if I read this thing straight through, I'm on the right-hand side over here, in case you wonder, it's saying that this is 4,010 words and it's 33 minutes. So if you know you have 40 minutes to preach, Brother Bayless has 40 minutes to preach, but he has 33 minutes to text. So he has an extra 7 minutes. He can maybe expound on the text a little bit more. He might want to bust out in a song. I don't know. He might pull a Saiko and might start hooping. I don't know. You got extra time to do whatever you need to do because Logos is going to keep you on track with that. Okay. So that is this. That's how you build a sermon in Logos. Now, let's say you are ready to preach this thing. You've written it. Now you're ready to preach. Right. Look up here in the top right-hand corner. You see the word preach. I'm going to launch this thing into what's called preach mode. Now click that, it pulls up a web browser. Here's my sermon. Now I'm at the front of the church or wherever. I'm preaching this thing because I'm in preach mode and I'm scrolling through the text of my sermon. You see the slides on the left-hand side too? It's all there. I'm in front of the church preaching this thing. Now watch this. Here's a timer. Okay, let's say I have 40 minutes. I'm going to put 40 minutes up here. And now I can click start timer. And when I get down to 1 or 2 minutes, the screen is going to flash. Or when I'm over time, it's going to flash. All that's built into Logos. If I'm on my iPad, so everything I just did now, when I created that sermon, it's automatically on my iPad. I don't have to tell it to sync or nothing. It's already there. So this is based on the internet. But when you launch preach mode from your iPad, it doesn't even use the internet. It looks on my iPad, it looks exactly like this on my iPad. Now I am preaching straight from my iPad in preach mode. So now you create all of your sermons in Logos. Now, when you want to find all of your sermons that you created in Logos, let me take you here to this page here. I'm going to go to Docs. That's where all of my documents are kept. Here's sermon. You click that. Now, all of the sermons you've created in Logos are all right here. No more having to find what folder they were in or what computer they were on or what thumb drive or what cloud drive. You don't have to worry about that. Logos keeps all of this wherever you log into Logos, it's automatically synced. So as soon as you do it, it's automatic on your phone, your laptop, the web page, it's all right there. So this is how you create sermons in Logos. Now I want to show you finally how you manage your sermons. This is another new feature in 9. It's called the Sermon Manager. So all of those sermons we created over time in Logos, they are now housed right here in the Sermon Manager. So what is this good for? It's basically your preaching schedule in Logos, your entire preaching schedule. Here it is by date, start to finish, by date. Now, if you want to search for a specific sermon, look on the left-hand side. Here are my sermon series. I can click on it down, my sermon series right there. Here are all of the books that I preach from. If I want to see all the sermons I preached in Matthew, I click right there. All the sermons that I created where I'm the speaker, it's here. If Saiko comes to my church and he's the speaker, I can put that there. So all the sermon that he did is going to be right there. Here's ones that have been delivered, some that are just in the idea phase. Here's some in the planning stage. Here's upcoming sermons. So you can sort all of that information right here. Now watch this. What if you wanted to get a better view of it? You can click this radio calendar view. And man, this thing gets real pretty at that point. So here's a radio calendar view of all of my sermons for this year. Let me go to, let's go to 2020. Now here are all of my sermons for 2020. Here, I did Lord of Lords as a sermon series in February. I did Joy in March. I did King of Kings in January. So now you have your entire sermon calendar all planned out in Logos. This is called the Sermon Manager that's new to Logos 9. Logos 9. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a pin in it right here because I can keep going. But I want to, if it's okay, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into how you can. Well, let me get questions first, and then I want to walk through which versions are available, how much it costs, and how you can get it, and all of that. So, any comments you have, any feedback, any thought, anything, I'd love to hear right now before we jump into pricing.
I think I'm going to put in for a 2-week vacation just so I can learn what all the
right.
Now I can't help you with that, but I can help you on the logo side.
Woo. Chauncey, are there tutorials built in beyond what we talked about today?
Man, I'm glad you asked that. So here's you guys see my web browser?
Yes.
Okay. Watch this. And this is going to be in a PowerPoint slide. I'm just going to show you in a minute. But on logos.com/PRO, like professional PRO. Click that. This is your free online training site to teach you how to use logos right here. So we just talked about like preach mode, sermon builder, those things I just talked about. Here, if I click on these, it's going to tell me how to use logos to do those things right there. Okay. Logos.com/pro. Yep. What other questions before we hop into how to get this Rolls Royce of a software program?
Man.
Wow.
Any other questions, y'all? Anybody? Any questions? Any thoughts? What about comments? Any comments besides myself and probably Kevin? Maybe Turner. I know we've been doing a lot of the interacting or responses. I mean, so if you're able, even if you're not able to visually show yourself, if you would like to comment, your thoughts about what you've seen. I know it's been kind of like breathtaking and mind blowing for some of you.
I just had to get a tissue to wipe the drool off my chin.
I would like to say something. This is Phyllis Taylor. I do have a package. I don't know if Chauncey remembers. It was a group of Seventh-day Adventists.
Yes.
A little while back, but I don't even remember the package, but evidently it must be sort of a good one because I do have 9. It was updated.
Right.
So this is good. This is more of a refresher. I come on every now and then. I don't get into this like I should, but I have been through it. So certain things I kind of stumbled upon the weight and measure one because right now I really don't have a laptop to use. So I have been strategically trying to use this phone, which is really difficult, but I was able to get to these things that you have shown me. And I usually just come on every now and then so I could pull in more. And I know the more you use it, the better you get at it. So I appreciate the patience and the comments from all of you. You've been truly an asset.
Phyllis, had a question. This is Saiko. Which program do you have?
I don't remember.
How long have you had it? I'm just curious.
It hasn't been a year, I don't think. I don't know if, I don't think, yeah, I'm trying to think when I got it. I want to say it's very recent.
Okay. And how is this your first?
Like August, I think since August.
Is this your first program? Is this your first one?
This is my second one coming into as far as our overview. I mean, a refresher.
And how do you like it? I mean, so far.
Oh no, I love it.
Yeah.
I just don't use it enough, and in fact, I haven't even talked with the others. I made the little that I do know. I may know more than them.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I think. I mean, you're just like with me, and I think that this. I mean, this is far exceeded, what I've even, imagined it would be, because, I know Chauncey hasn't even touched on a lot of things that he could, but I mean, this is just, amazing. And again, I've had logos for over 20 years, and just the information that I've heard so far, some of the stuff I've saw it outside of the new features. But I've never really, actually dug into it the way Chauncey has. So it's like you have a treasure and you have yet to even mine it. You know what I'm saying? So
that's awesome. Yeah. So Phyllis, that SDA 7-day Adventist presentation I did, I think that was in August, and most people, I don't know if it's true for you, but most of the folks on that call did get the SDA or 7-day Adventist version of logos. I did mention the denominational packages. So what that means is, as we start to talk about packages, what that means is, some want their resources to have more of a specific denominational bend, let's say the 7-day Adventist or Baptist or Pentecostal charismatic, and that's fine. It's just when you do your research, those resources are going to be geared towards that specific denomination. And so that's why we are, and some people that are, like I did the AME bishops last week, had 208 AME bishops the other day. And they were like, it's Methodist, but we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves to just Methodist. We want more of a cross section. And so a lot of them got the standard version, but some of them did get the Methodist and Wesleyan version. So it's just a matter of choice. The functionality is the same. It's just the resources that come up. That's the difference.
Yeah. But what I do like is it's more than just SDA. It's all the other ones too. So, but I'm with you. Why stick with you? You want to know what others are believing or teaching, so you know how to approach them.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump on into the pricing. I can hang on if you guys want more questions. I want to jump to the price. I know Jackson's been waiting. He's like, I asked you about pricing an hour ago, and I'm still waiting. Jackson, this is for you. All right, so this is Logos 9. Now, because of the fact that you have jumped on this Zoom call, I'm able to offer 20% off through the Saiko Woods event. 20% off of what you're saying. I'm going to show you the regular price and what it costs with the 20% off. Now, we do have monthly payment options. You don't have to worry about paying it one time. You can do the monthly. The monthly works kind of like a car payment. You pay it monthly until it's paid off, but you get use of it from day one, okay? Now, here are all of the different options. We got bronze all the way up to collectors. And there's actually another one after collectors called the ultimate. And I jokingly say, if you get ultimate, that tells you when Jesus is coming back. That's how thorough that one is, right? But so we have bronze, silver, gold. So who needs what? So if you are in seminary or you just love doing seminary level study, that's platinum. That's the one in the middle. You don't have to be in seminary, obviously, but if you are, and you love doing a little more academic type study, platinum is where you need to be. Going one step up from that, diamond. That's for our full-time pastors. We recommend that when we put together the package, the resources for someone that's a full-time pastor. And you don't have to be, you can be a layperson and get diamond. Happens all the time. Portfolio is for someone that's doing their doctoral level studies. So, those academic resources are really, really, really in depth for you to do that. Now, let me work backwards a little bit. The gold. Gold is for anyone in ministry. You may be a preacher, I'm sorry, an assistant pastor, Sunday school teacher, small group leader, anyone that does some preaching and teaching, but you're not necessarily a full-time pastor, you're not quite at the seminary level, gold is for you. From a statistical standpoint, we probably sell more gold than anything else, statistically. Now, silver, one step down, silver, someone you're not preaching and teaching, you just want all of the tools that you've seen today, which you get all of the tools that you've seen today in silver. You just may not get, or you won't get as many resources when you do your research, if you will, or your study. Bronze is for someone that likes, you get the majority of the tools, you don't get as much language stuff, you don't get as much Greek, Hebrew, and all that. That person may not be ready for that. That person maybe is newer to studying the Bible. They like all these tools, but they're not ready necessarily or want, the systematic theology and some of the more in-depth stuff. That's who bronze is for. So collectors has everything. Collectors is like the granddad. That's like $10,000, literally. Okay. So here's bronze. If you were to purchase the bronze paper, Barnes & Noble, you get paper books, it's like almost $7,000. Our regular price is $629. But because you're on with Saiko today, it's $504. Or if you want to do monthly, it's $42 a month for 14 months. If you're in that silver category, it is regularly $1,000, 20% off is $800, or $56 a month. If you are in ministry, the ministry library is $1240 or $75 a month. The academic crowd, seminary, you look to use it in seminary, it's $1720 or $92 a month. If you are a diamond full-time pastor, you want the full shebang, it's $2760 or $121 a month. Portfolio for the doctoral folks on the call, $3984 or $172 a month. Okay, so those are packages. Now, you can download logos to as many devices that you own. You have a laptop, your wife has a laptop, you have a desktop, you have an iPad, she has an Android. You can put it on as many devices as you own, and they all will sync together instantaneously. So you're not limited to like 2 devices, as many devices as you own. There's a lifetime personal license. You own the license, it's yours. It's a 30-day money-back guarantee. We just ask that if you purchase logos, because it's a personal license, you don't share your license with someone else, right? So Trent's my boy, but I can't let them use my logos. But if I'm married, which I am, my spouse can use it. The Bible says once you're married, you become one. I mean, we don't mess with it. So you can share the license with the spouse. You just can't share the license with your buddy.
Right.
Free online training and support at logos.com/pro. That's the site that I showed you a few minutes ago. Now, here's how you get it. You go to logos.com/Saiko. Now, this 20% discount ends Monday at midnight. Now, what happens at midnight is Faithlife literally takes down logos.com/Saiko, and it won't even pull up the webpage. So in order to get the 20% discount, you go to this website and you go logos.com/Saiko, and I'll show you that page in just a second. Now, if you're interested in upgrading to just the features of Logos 9, meaning you have logos already, you just don't have 9, and you don't need any additional books, you just want the new features that came with Logos. That's the Sermon Manager, the Bible Books Explorer, Sermon Builder, those new features, all of the counseling guide. Those are new features in Logos. So when you upgrade features and books. But if you just want the features and you don't need any additional books, just email me. Here's my email address. It's chauncey.allmond@logos.com. There's my phone number. Call, text me, because I have to do that manually as opposed to you going to a web page to order that. So that's that. Now let me show you what the web page looks like for those of you who are ready to rush out and do this. So
hey, Chauncey,
yes.
Can you put your phone number back up for 1 second?
Absolutely. I'm sorry about that. It was too quick. We go here. Oh, there we go. 469-644-4813.
Thank you.
And that's my email address is Chauncey, like the almond, like the nut, but 2 L's at logos.com. Now, when you go to logos.com/Saiko, this is what it looks like. So it has all of the options we talked about here. We have silver, gold, platinum, diamond, portfolio, etc. And when you add it to your cart and you're ready to check out, and it'll say this here, you can even see more base packages like some of the lower ones. You just use coupon code Saiko 1220. And when you put that coupon code in, that's how you get your 20% off. So we want you to make sure you go this route to purchase, because the last thing we want is you go to logos.com or you call the 800 number, they're not going to give you the 20% discount. So you have to go here in order to get the discount, or you have to contact me directly and I can get you, and I'll process the discount for you. So that's how it works in terms of ordering. That's the pricing. So I'm ready to take some questions that you may have about the individual packages that we have to offer, if you have any.
Can you tell me the difference again between the platinum and the gold? Because like I like to study and get into systematic theology and all that kind of stuff. And I got some classes under my belt from going to Liberty University. So I really like to study, but I don't want to be like a pastor. So just, yeah, kind of the difference again between diamond and gold, basically.
Diamond and gold. Okay. Diamond.
Platinum and gold.
Okay. So what I want to here, and I'm going to put this in the chat for you. This is, let me go chat. And I'm putting this page that I'm on right now into the chat. This is where you go to compare the different libraries, what I just put in the link.
Okay.
So when you come here, you see gold, platinum, and diamond across here?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can go, down or up, what have you. So what this page does is show you the different resources that come with each package. So as an example, it says English Bibles. There's 24 in gold, 28 in platinum, 28 in diamond. Biblical commentaries, 242, 376, 746. But watch this, when I click this arrow, it tells me specifically what commentaries come with each one. That way you can look at it and say, well, I probably would use all of those in platinum, so I probably need to get platinum. Or you may say, well, platinum has way more than I need. I'll be okay with gold. So that's what this site helps you with. Now, you notice now, diamond, 746 commentaries compared to 376, 242. Now, you're probably saying, well, I may not be ready for that right now. Well, here's the analogy I always like giving. When I was in school, I don't know about Saiko, but when I was in school, my mom used to take me shoe shopping. And let's say I wore a size 6. She would get me a 7. I'm like, Mom, the shoe's too big. She's like, well, look, in a year, you're going to outgrow this, and I want to give you some room to grow. So that could be something to consider when you're deciding between gold and platinum or platinum and diamond, especially at 20% off. Do you want to take advantage of the discount and get, maybe it's a little more than you need right now, but taking advantage of the discount. So that's one way to look at it. So you just kind of comb through everything on the site and all the different resources, and it'll help you decide, which ones are best for you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
One other question I had, Chauncey. Since I have Logos, and our church has membership with the parent company, is there any benefits for that as far as any discounts or anything, or not?
Meaning that you have Proclaim?
Yep, right. Well, and we do Proclaim. They do our website hosting and everything.
Oh, so you have Faithlife equipped. So you guys do the offering and all of that. There's not, but get with me. I may be able to work something out with you. Okay.
All right. Cool.
Good question. Anything else? Any other questions?
It's good stuff, bro. It's good stuff.
Man, Saiko, thanks for the opportunity, man. I love it. I could go on for another couple of hours if I could, but I know we can't let people get on there Saturday. But thanks for the opportunity. Hopefully it was helpful for everyone. If you've already used it, hopefully you saw some new things. If you don't have it, hopefully this has inspired you to say, I need to study, or I want to study the Word of God like I've never done it before using Logos. So it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
I appreciate it. So anyone have any questions or any information, if you, again, the deadline is Monday as far as the discount. So for a person that may come in, because I had I think 2 people that wanted to attend, they were at work, and they were interested in maybe wanting to watch this presentation. How would they be able to take advantage of the discount?
Good question. So what I'm going to do is recording right now. So as soon as this is done, it takes probably about 15 minutes for it to process. As soon as it finishes processing, I'm going to put this link on the Eventbrite site so that people that registered that couldn't make it will see it, and I'll email it to you as well. And then anyone that views it and wants to purchase before we say Monday, they'll still be able to take advantage of it.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Hey, Chauncey, also, if I wanted to host one of these and invite some of my pastor friends, I just get a hold of you about that?
You give me a call or shoot me an email, and I'll be more than happy to work that out with you.
Okay.
Great.
I do have a question. So Logos 9 is the newest version.
Yes.
That is, okay. That's what I wanted to know. I thought that was it. So that's the newest version. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And we come out with a new version. We've been averaging about every 2 years. And 9 just came out 2 months ago. So it'll be 9 for a long time.
Okay, thanks.
Great. Sounds good. And now, Chauncey, again, again, man, thank you for hosting this event. I could not have even touched any of this as proficiently as you did. So definitely, gave me some things to toy around with and look at even more so. So I'm definitely looking forward to diving in mine even better now.
Awesome. Again, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to hearing from everybody. Go to the site, get it. If you have any questions with making a decision, let me know. I'm here. I'm around all day today. So just let me know. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Man, thank you. Thank you all for joining as well.
Thanks, Chauncey.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Have a great one.
You too.
Y'all take care.
All right.
All right.